So at the beginning of September, I sought out to create a project, a drone that could map the 3D objects around it. So, so say for example, this here is a cave, and this here represents a drone going through the cave. The drone, when it's actually in the cave, it'll be able to map the entire cave around it and present it back to a computer, where you'll have a full 3D model. But yeah, so far, I've been able to rewire a computer's power source to power this one right here, because the amperage draw on the drone itself is quite substantial. So you'll notice that in here, this these wires right here, this yellow one is 12 volts out, and this green one right here, and this blue one right in here is those are the ignition wires. If these wires are clipped, or for some reason they are well, they're not connected, this thing will not fire up like this. You'll notice the blades are actually spinning. Anyways, and you'll notice that this one right here is on, in fact, on the ohm meter. Hang on just a second. Anyways, you'll notice on the ohm meter it's pumping 12 volts steady. That's the second layer on the black writing. Anyways, so now I'm going to go over some of the code that I wrote in here. This section right in, hang on a second. So this section of the code here is responsible for arming the ESCs on the device. The ESCs are these ones right here. These are responsible for allowing these motors to turn, because the motors run on a modulated pulse. They have to, they run different from any other motor. They have to run on a certain frequency, otherwise they don't operate at all. So this is what allows those motors to operate at all. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to fire up the initial sequence, and I'll get that up and running, and then... Okay, so we're back, and I'm about to initialize the primary command sequence. I'm initializing it now. You'll notice that it presents this... Hang on, oops. Sorry about that. It seemed to be the wrong frequency for the serial communication. So I'm going to run it one more time. You'll notice that it has presented the command that was issued here and the command itself. Anyways, notice that the rotors here arm, and then after arming they successfully light up. And you'll notice that there is a fairly substantial amount of wind coming off of this. This is only at 20% capacity. So anyways, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to give it any further thrust, because I don't want it to go through the ceiling.